it like rocket fuel.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach. This is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Mike is 59. Mike is 59. I know he ain't got it.
On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up second down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Allen gonna throw. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That goes for a gain of 31. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Allen to throw it. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He's crossing. He's checking crap.
2nd and 5 now. Allen. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Against the pass, just numbers that they haven't liked. Number 30 in the league right now.
You know, when actors get ready for a scene, they often ask the question, what's my motivation? But what's the motivation of this group? What's their mindset? What's the problem that they have? Will they create an identity that allows them to get better?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. Under center is a 6'2", 225-pound signal caller, Aaron Rodgers.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, You got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And he finds his target. It's Sharp. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down. On play action, it's Rodgers. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers gets it to Gordon. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 14. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. A first down carry here for Johnson. And power running here down to the 6-yard line.
You got it.
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there.
On 2nd down now. It's Johnson. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
On play action, now Rodgers. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Got Gordon open, completes it.
Illegal forward pass, offense.
We knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
And a penalty certainly makes things tougher here as they try again. 3rd and goal.
Kill.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
And that last field goal, number 400 for him in his NFL career. I don't know whether this will wind up a Hall of Fame career, but he's certainly been at the top of his profession for quite a while.
And that is without question, my man, one of the best kickers we've seen in the past decade or so. Big congratulations to him. Pretty nice round number.
Getting set to go again, we get a look at Amari Cooper as he heads back out there now. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing a 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist, you know, that good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing, change things up a little bit, and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Allen, and that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
Draw play. This is Henry. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. It's Steve McClendon that time who winds up getting him down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Now on 2nd and 13, Rodgers, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Rodgers to throw. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from the 1st down.
That stopped him in his tracks. Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy? Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. On 2nd down, it's Henry. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
I remember watching Derrick Henry come out of Alabama and sitting with some scouts, and one of the debate points with him was, while at Bama, how often did he have to deal with contact near the line of scrimmage? They were so good up front that he often got to the 2nd level pretty easily. I think he's starting to answer those questions with runs like that. He's a physical guy.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The end result, 21 yards. So the ref takes a peek here, wants to see if the receiver had possession and both feet inbounds.
If this were a college game, this would be a legal catch. It's the second foot that they're looking at to make sure it gets down. You have to have 2 inbounds in the NFL.
On second down, here's Henry. Damon Harrison, the one on the stop.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Throwing is Allen on third, and this is going to be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players.
Johnson on poke free. Football's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. That puts him in excellent position, first and goal after a gain of 19.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Vance McDonald, his first touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatch.
And now it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So after the block PAT, they're ready to kick this one off. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. 1 first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
I don't care what level of football you played. This one was a universal, wasn't it? When we were kids and we played touch football, remember we get in these positions and you just say, everybody go along and hope someone will come free.
And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On second and a couple, Rodgers. This is caught.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop him?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically, but a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
They'll run it with Johnson. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. To Johnson again.
He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
It sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped...
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Gostkowski now after the touchdown. He'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Taken in at the 22. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So here are the Bucs to take over on offense. Their win streak at 6 coming in and counting as they've got the lead right now beginning this drive 1st and 10. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Johnson in on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers.
Well, they obviously red man coverage their part, man. He got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion. And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. That's complete. It's Gordon. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. They come out here in the I. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Braxton Berrios as the first half is winding down as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. Extra point good by Gostkowski, and the lead is up to 8. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL here on this first day of November. We'll start with a couple of teams that drafted.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bucs with a lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go. Let's go.
Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers.
Many teams, as soon as they spot man defense, if they haven't called a hitch, they'll get to it as fast as they can. They want to put the ball in the hands of one of their best playmakers and hope that he can break a tackle on the outside and go for big yardage.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, a run for Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish, holding that to a minimal gain? I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That to me.
And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked. Ed Oliver coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. They were trying to set up that screen, trying to get that screen to formulate. Took too long.
He ends up taking a sack, and that leads you to a couple of other questions. Number one, why don't you just get rid of the football near the screen guy so that you don't take an interception? But really, the big one, they just took everything away, and he was really kind of flummoxed on that play and ended up taking the sack.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Derrick Henry. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Allen, he gets it to Sims, complete. And this is going to lead to another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 30.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. Well, 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 29, Rodgers. He finds his tight end, Howard. That's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. $15 yards on the play, 1st down. Rodgers now 15 out of 17 through the air, only 2 incompletions. It's 1st down. Now Rodgers on the bootleg. That's caught by Howard. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. We are going.
There's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down. They will run with Grant. And he's going to get the 1st down here as he's taken down at the 22. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Allen Hurns, his first touchdown on the year, as the Buccaneers tack on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice two-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal, field goal, field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder, puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. On play action, Allen. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Corey Davis, the intended receiver, and it's third down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide-open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
I would dare say that these guys would have liked to have given their defense a little bit more rest since they gave up a touchdown their last time out. But alas, my man, that's not going to happen.
Yep, they're going to have to grab those helmets, get right back out there. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, Johnson tried to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Tim Williams makes the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Rip left, rip left.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. That's complete to Sharp. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver, and it's second down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Rodgers going to throw. Able to get this to Gordon. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Mike. 319. 319.
They'll run on first down. It's Johnson, and he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16.
258.
Rodgers off the bootleg. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
Here's Rodgers on third down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, fourth quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth. Here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Broncos will take over on downs. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Allen, and he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Allen. And caught by Henry. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure they only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. This is Henry. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now Allen. He's going to air one out. And this is caught at the 20. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
A first down carry for Henry. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. Boston Scott, his first carry. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. He needed 9, he got 8. And that's going to leave him with a 4th and 1 on their side of the field. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll run for it with Henry. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. Bringing him down there, Jonathan Allen. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
They begin the drive with Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here to have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Off the draw, here's Johnson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. Again, it's Johnson. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bucs on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now Rodgers. And he's got his man on the out route. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. They decide against going for it on 4th and 1, maybe to the dismay of their offense, but, hey, a nice consolation prize down inside the 5.
Nice consolation prize indeed. So maybe the offense is upset, but they show confidence in their defense by punting it away.
Completes it to Davis. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jonathan Allen in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. After the sack on 1st down, Allen always able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. A 1st down there on a pickup of 25. On 1st down, Allen. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So fire the cannons. It's a victory here for Tampa Bay. And they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Buccaneers, they're setting themselves up as a major contender as they move to 8-1 now on the year. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for Denver, things are kind of getting ugly as they drop to 1-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
This ain't nothing for the pack. Got 16 sitting in the lap. Whole squad all dressing all black. Every single last one of them got my back. Hey, 20 of us, that's 20 goons in them. Ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation, ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking, no hesitation. Don't try my patience. I'ma pour out one for the set, boy, till there's nothing left. On a run to the bed until we all got them baguettes. Hear them footsteps coming, cause we coming for the check.